When choosing a substrate, sometimes referred to as bedding, there are several things to consider. One of the 5 freedoms of animal welfare is the freedom to express natural behavior. Rats are a fossorial animal. This means that although they also enjoy climbing and other activities, they are well adapted to digging and building burrows. Another consideration is odor control. Fleece coverings are popular and cute, but they don't offer enrichment by way of digging and also don't offer any odor control, so they need to be changed daily. Many of the popular cages in the US don't have trays deep enough to hold loose substrate, so they need modifications. Bass Equipment offers replacement pans for the Critter Nation cage. These pans are about 4 inches deep, so I do typically make additional modifications. In this example, I've added acrylic sheets that I taped with some clear Gorilla Tape to the bass pan. In this cage, I only attached 3 sides, leaving the front piece of acrylic loose so I can remove it and have easier access to the rats inside the cage. In this cage, I got creative and used some bamboo. This was originally a bridge that I turned into a scatter guard. Another option from Bass Equipment are these stainless steel scatter guards, which come in handy for rats that chew things like plastic. In this cage, I custom built a deep cage base with plexiglass. A couple of more affordable options. First would be making deeper trays out of chloroplast. Also, large cement mixing tubs you can get at Lowe's or Home Depot. Just a word of caution, heavy chewers can chew through these. So now you have a base deep enough to hold loose substrate. What do we put in it? There are many options, each with their own pros and cons. The first option is a type of paper bedding. These beddings are fluffy and soft, and you can buy them in a variety of colors. However, they don't have the greatest odor control. It also has lint, for lack of a better word. This can be an issue getting in the eyes of hairless rats. Aspen bedding has superior odor control. This one is actually a horse bedding that you can get at Tractor Supply. I find it much less dusty than the Aspen small animal bedding you get at the pet stores. It's also less expensive. Aspen does tend to stick to fabrics. Another Aspen that I find to be low dust is KT. You can buy this online at Chewy. The flakes are a little bigger than the horse bedding. Another option is hemp bedding. This has probably the best odor control and is pretty hypoallergenic as well. Very low dust. This manufacturer makes a couple of other options. The Albie Chick is the softest. It's recommended for pets with sensitive skin, like hairless rats. The Albie Zoo is sort of a happy medium. It's softer than the Albios and less dust than the Albie Chick. Another option is coconut fiber. It comes in loose bags or bricks like this one. It needs to be kept moist so it's not dusty and it maintains its shape. And also for your cleanup crew if you're going bioactive. This is also a good option for rats with sensitive skin like hairless rats. I strongly recommend you do lots of research before going bioactive. I do know quite a few people who have a bioactive setup and they're very happy. It's lower maintenance and less odor. Cedar shavings are not safe for your rat's respiratory system. The safety of pine is debated. With so many other options available, I avoid it. If we want our rats to be able to build burrows, we need to add materials for structure. Things like hay, while unsuitable on their own, are a great addition for structure. Rats will not eat the hay, they just use it for building material. Shredded cardboard is another option. Again, while I don't like it on its own, I do like adding it for some structure and variety. This eco bedding is another option, combined in these small bags or larger boxes. Again, I don't like it on its own, but I do like adding it to something like hemp or aspen. It helps. The rats will use it to build nests and burrows and tunnels. It's softer and more suitable for sensitive rats than hay is. Every once in a while, someone will come to me and tell me they've set all this stuff up and their rats are still not digging. There are a couple things that I do to encourage the rats to dig. One is scatter feeding, a little bit of foraging mix in the substrate. The other thing I do is partially bury toys or tunnels, even branches. And this tree stump toy is a favorite. Once it's all set up and they've been shown the joys of digging, you'll have endless hours of entertainment. Another frequently asked question, how often do I change the bedding? The answer to that is it depends. A setup like this with a deep base won't have to be changed as often as a setup like this with only about 4 inches. Other factors include how many rats are in the cage, are they litter trained, and the type of substrate you choose. For example, Carefresh is not going to last as long as aspen, and hemp tends to last even longer. And bioactive becomes extremely low maintenance once your setup is up and running. Another question I get is washing my fabrics, my hammocks, etc. They do tend to get aspen and hemp stuck to them, so I just wash them inside one of these laundry bags so the mess doesn't end up in my washing machine or dryer. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you find this useful.